Hi, this is Dr. Ralph Wilson with Web Marketing Today. I'm in Chicago at the Search Engine Strategies Conference here with Tim Ash, who's an expert in conversion and landing pages for online businesses.
Good to be with you, Ralph.
Yeah, thanks. And today we're going to talk about components of good direct response landing page. That's compared to what other kind of landing pages might there be?
E-commerce would be the kind of the contrasting.
Kind of a product page sort of a thing.
Or a catalog, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a different beast, really.
Okay. So what are the components as you see them?
Well, a direct response page has a clear purpose. Ideally, it would have one, maybe two conversion goals on it. So buy, subscribe, fill out a form, download something, whatever the action is that you want them to take, right?
Okay.
And unfortunately, direct response pages are very cluttered. People usually chop them up into little visual boxes and have lots of pictures. So there's no clear visual hierarchy on the page. So the most important thing in terms of kind of decluttering it is to basically have it run down in a single column, and then everything goes down the page. So you're just reading linearly.
Your flow of your eye just goes
straight down, like you're reading a book or letter.
Rather than
zigzagging or bouncing around.
Okay.
And then to the left of that, to the right of that, you could have a supporting narrow column of trust and credibility, and I'll talk about what goes into that as well.
So one column, what's next?
Well, in the column, you have what we kind of around the office describe as the holy trinity of conversion.
Oh, what's that?
Well, you have the page headline, and then you have an action block with a sub-headline, and then you have the actual call to action, which is often a button. And so most people kind of treat those as independent and separate things, and they're really need to line up together. So the headline tells you what the page is about. The action block tells you what's being asked of you in the action block, or what you're going to get by interacting with the action block. And then the call to action tells you what you can expect to get immediate gratification-wise.
Now, this is a new term to me, action block. So is it a small block, or could it be how large is this on the page?
Does it talk about action block?
Yeah, does it talk about features or benefits, or what is it?
Well, an action block is a visually different area. So the rest of your page, by the way, should be white background, unless you're doing something really unique. And then the action block is basically, you can think of it as maybe a rounded box with a pastel-colored background against that. So it's visually the most interesting part of the page. If you've toned down the rest, the action block should kind of pop out on its own. And then having a button in it, the call to action, brings just extra visual emphasis.
Is this above the fold, or on the first screen?
Yeah, and the action block can contain different things. So for instance, if it's just a big Start Now button, that's fine. Or you could have your product image in there as well inside the action block if you're selling something that has a visual element. It could be a form. The form fields are the contents of the action block.
Now, what if the product requires more descriptions? Like some one product landing pages, direct response landing pages might. Where do you put that? Below the action block, or how does that work?
Well, the way that we kind of our best practice recommendation would be to have more details kind of links.
Okay.
So they're deliberate people, and they're very kind of fast-paced people. I'm one of those attention deficit disorder folks. So I don't want to read all that clutter, but for the more deliberate people, you can direct them to a more details link, and that should come up in a light box popover. You see that more and more on pages. So actually, don't take them off to another page. Keep them on the page. Have them read the information. Close out that informational box. They're still there on your page.
Okay.
So most things should be done kind of Facebook style, if you will, with popovers.
Now, it sounds like you're not too much in favor of these long direct response pages.
Well, I don't know that it'd be fair to say that. The direct response long form letter is its own art form. And if you really know a lot about copywriting and you've read the classics like Eugene Schwartz's book and so on, it can be very effective. And it's really good for low price point consumer products that don't require a lot of sophistication, let's just say, on the part of the audience.
Okay.
But what I'm talking about is just a more kind of
average one.
You show up, do it or don't.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And now tell me about this credibility issue in this right column. What's that like?
Well, one of the things that most companies don't realize is they really have no brand strength. They may think that they're smart, they're capable, they're leaders in their field, but the fact is, in terms of consumer awareness, they're nobody. So when you show up on the page, you have
to... You tell them that?
I do. I call it consulting through insulting.
Do you have a therapist or something that kind of works with these people?
You mean afterwards?
Yeah,
to
right.
undo
After
the
you
damage
finish.
we've done?
Yeah.
Well, we've thought of doing that as an add-on service at a small additional
Anyway,
fee.
they don't have any brand strengths.
Well, and basically what that means is you have to overcome my anxiety as a visitor. Who are you? Why should I trust you? So that right-hand column shouldn't take over the page visually. It can be very subtle.
Okay.
If you go to the Site Tuner's homepage, you'll see we have our client logos in grayscale in that area.
Okay.
But client logos, testimonials, media mentions, the number of active users of your service or products, all of those serve to alleviate the anxiety I might have of whether I should even consider you.
So they're not prominent, but they're there.
Yes, exactly. They're supporting information. They should be offset against, again, a light pastel color maybe, and not the white content color of the page.
You mentioned a narrow column.
Yeah,
We're
maybe
talking-
an inch and a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for sharing these tips. Tell me about your company and what you do.
We improve conversion rates. We can do that through consulting. We have an entry-level express review via an online meeting for $600, and we also do full service testing with a performance guarantee. So we'll give you your money back if we can't improve your conversion rate.
All right. Well, thanks for sharing these, Tim.
My pleasure.
This is Ralph Wilson with Web Marketing Today.